Hello everyone, this is Keith with Larimore Farms. Out in my garage today, January the 11th. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. I had some people wanting to buy some honey yesterday, and I opened my storage box up. Some of the honey has started to crystallize. Now, any good honey or any pure honey, from my understanding, is going to crystallize, and there's nothing wrong with it. You just need to stick it in a pot of warm water, or I have found that if you run your tap water out of your faucet and get it as hot as it'll get, and fill the pot up and set that jar of honey down in it, but don't go up past where the ring is, or you don't want it to leak in the top by accident. But anyway, it will decrystallize it. You may have to keep warming your water up 2 or 3 times. But I did this to some quart jars, and I think I had to rerun the water maybe 4 times in the pot till I finally got it where it was turned back to running honey. Now, it wasn't crystallized all the way that it was solid. It was, when you took the jar and you tipped it one way, you could see the grains forming in it, and they were getting pretty large. Now, I am going to take some of this honey and make me some cream honey, but I hadn't got all my stuff together for that yet. But anyway, today, what I got going on is I am going to see about building me a honey warmer box. And I watched one of Sawmill Charlie's videos where he had one made out of an old refrigerator. Well, me being a hoarder, of course, I got an old refrigerator. I had taken this refrigerator out of a rental house that we have, and it was nasty. Lord, it was nasty. But I got the outside of it clean. I still got to clean the inside. Now, I'm not going to take y'all through the process of doing the cleaning because nobody likes to see cleaning. I'm going to leave all the shelves in it. I am going to take the drawers out of the bottom of it. I have no use for the drawers. They're going to be in the way because what I plan on doing is, like Charlie, I'm going to set the 5-gallon buckets in the bottom, and I'm going to set my bottling bucket on top. But Charlie has a Inkbird temperature control unit on the side of his. I have one of those ordered, but it hadn't got here yet, and I'm kind of in a bind. I need to do something now. So I got me another idea. Here on the farm, we always trying to rig up something. I'll show you what I got. Okay, so we have chickens around the farm, of course, and we gather our own eggs and all. That's kind of our sustainability. We don't sell eggs; we just eat them. And we have to, if you go to the Tractor Supply, something you buy these chickens, they anywhere from $3.50 to $5 a piece. So most of the time, what we do, we get an incubator and we incubate our own eggs and hatch them out for a new drove. Well, to kind of rig up an incubator, you just get you a box. You got to have your old cheap drop cord. And well, this is what I'm going to use today. Like I say, this is an emergency. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters, a box knife, a pair of wire strippers. Now, this is the part that's going to get you. If you've got an old hot water heater, or you can go buy one, you need the bottom thermostat control off of a hot water heater. Now, this is the top one. I don't think it'll work. I've never used the top one, but you can see the difference in the top. You hook your hot and your ground wire coming from your breaker box to it. But anyway, we're not going to use that one. Now, this one just has the 2 wires. So what you're going to do, you're going to take this drop cord. Let me see if I can back this thing up a little bit. You're going to take this drop cord where the plug-in is. You're going to back up about 1 foot. All right. Now, on these drop cords, most of the time you'll have a smooth wire and one that's got ridges on it. The rigid wire is it's supposed to be the neutral. The slick wire is supposed to be the hot. So I want to put this control on the hot side of that wire. So I'm going to cut that wire in 2. I'm going to wire one side of that wire. I strip the ends of it back about 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna wire one side at the one terminal, one side to the other terminal. I'm gonna tighten the screws back up. These thermostats, they go from 90 to 150. I got this one set on about 110. That should be good as far as not getting the honey too hot, that it takes any of the good properties out of it that everybody really wants out of the raw honey. Okay, so let's see if I can get with this. Now, this is very important with the cord unplugged. Don't want nobody to walk around with no funny hair at church. Take your knife, you're gonna go in here where this groove is, you're just gonna score that thing lightly. Come about 4 or 5 inches. All right, after that, you'll turn it over. After you have it turned over, you do the same thing. You know, kind of remember where you was at on the other side, go about 4 or 5 inches. Then you can take your fingers right there and just peel that apart. Sorry about that, but I skipped a step. I didn't show you where I pulled it apart, and I didn't show you that I stripped into the wires, but see, I had those wires stripped about 3/4 of an inch on both sides. That's what you need. Now, a little disclaimer, I am not an electrician. I'm just, you know, kind of doing some ethnic rigging on this thing. You take this wire after you got it stripped about 3/4 away, twist the end of it good and tight, you know, just round and round so it sticks out straight. Then take it and bend a little crook in it like that so you can wrap it around the screw on this. All right, let me see if I can hold the camera with one hand and do it with the other. Oh, shoot. Fiddlesticks. All right, see that one's in there. Now, let me go ahead and tighten that down with that Phillips screwdriver. Yeah, I dropped my blessed screwdriver. So you snug that down real good. Look in there and make sure there's no wires in here that's connecting from this terminal to that one. Everything looks good. Now we're going to join the wire for the other side, same way. I gotta get me a tripod. I'm gonna tell you, this is getting for the birds trying to hold this phone. Okay, so I got that one in. Tighten this terminal down. I know some of y'all say, well, you know, I'm not dumb, old Lord, you see it come out like that. I kind of see about tightening the terminal down, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip this part, but you got the idea. This wire goes to this terminal, tighten that down. Okay, I got that on there and got it tightened down. I'm gonna turn this thermostat up just a touch. So I got it halfway between the 125 and the 90. So I'm guessing that's about, let's say maybe 112. So that's halfway on that. All right, so that part right there should be the temperature controller for what you got going on right there. A couple more things I forgot to mention. You're gonna need a roll of electrical tape. Y'all don't look at my table now. This is a 250 watt heat lamp from Walmart. It was like $7.97. You're gonna need one of those, or I think you can use probably 100 watt, but it's got to be an incandescent bulb. The LEDs and the CFLs, they don't work because they don't give off the infrared heat like the incandescents. This is just a reflector lamp or a warming lamp. Buy them at Tractor Supply. I got a bunch of them laying around here. Some people put them in their pump houses to keep the pumps all warm at night. But anyway, like that stuff that I had laying around, so I wasn't really thinking about it. You know, you're gonna need that in the video. But I did have to buy that light. So you plug this light, and it's got the end of it plugs into that cord. It plugs into that cord there that we just put that thermostat on off the hot water heater. All right, now on your thermostat, You see you got the 2 live wires. Now when you plug this thing in, they're gonna be hot. So if you touch them, it's gonna light you up like a Christmas tree, and we don't want you shining in the middle of the night. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some black electrical tape here. I'm gonna tape around that. But when I tape it, I'm not gonna cover up this hole where this thermocoupler is on the inside. I'm gonna leave that open. The whole bottom of this thing heats up. So as little as I can, I'm gonna leave open, but I'm gonna cover those 2 terminals up so nobody don't get shocked. Okay, I got that taped up now. I was just thinking, I probably could have split the neutral wire, which is the one with the grooves on it, and tied it to these 2 terminals. And if you'd accidentally bumped it, being the neutral, it wouldn't have gave you a shock like the hot wire does. But I got it taped up now, so we ought to be good. So, just keep that in mind that those wires will be hot on those terminals if you do the slick wire. Now, I gutted this refrigerator. All the cooling elements and the fans and stuff up there for the freezer box, I took that out. And the reason for that is I got 2 holes here in the back of this thing. And I think that heat will rise up there so I can utilize the top also. I'm going to drill a 3-inch hole here, or probably a little farther back, and I'm gonna put it on the right side. And I'm gonna take a coolant fan out of a computer, a 120 watt cooling fan, and I'm gonna put it where it can circulate the air from the bottom to the top. That'll keep the top just the same temperature as the bottom, and I can still use all this space instead of it just going to waste. The next step, I'm gonna open the door and find the top of your door, see how far down on the door the seal goes. That's gonna be how far the top of your shelf is in there. All right, then you want to mark it around here. I'm gonna come down about a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go straight back, and I've already drilled a hole. So that's what that's for. That's where I'm gonna stick my temperature probe to check the air temperature inside the box. Okay, on to the next step. You're going to get your cord with your. You're going to need 2 zip ties for this part. As I said, you're going to need the 2 zip ties for this part. I had to resituate myself. Take your wire that's got your thermostat on it. I left the 2 shells in the refrigerator. I got them. I don't have them on the very bottom. Go down here where the 5-gallon buckets are going to sit. I moved them up because right now I'm not going to set my bottling bucket in here. I'm just going to try to. I can set 1 bottling bucket down here because I only have I can't talk straight. I only have 1 bucket of honey left that's full, so I can set my bottling bucket beside it. And there's enough room down there for that. This space, I've measured it out. It's big enough for a pint jar. Now the 1-pound squeeze bottles, if you go in up under there like that, they'll fit, but it's a tight fit. So I'm just gonna put the pints on this jar rack, and I'll put the 1-pounders up here. Now, you can also utilize all the space that's in the doors because that won't be in the way as long as your honey don't fall out. So, enough rambling. I want to take this thermostat and I'm going to turn it down on this rack right here about middle ways. I think I'm going to turn it where the plug's at the front and plus the dial. That way if I have to readjust it, I can read this dial. You're going to take the other end of this cord and it's going to come up around here and go up the side temporarily until, like I say, you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to take this cord and I'm going to go up and open the top door, and I'm going to stick this cord in between that top door and let it hang down behind that hinge like so. I can get all that cord out my way. And see, after you close that door, that wire is not in a bind that's pinching that wire, you can move this down, take your thermostat, put it in place like that. You're going to take your tie strap. Most of these thermostats have holes on both sides, so you're going to run it through this hole and that hole, and you're going to strap it to these wires. That way it doesn't get beat around, moved around, and it's pretty much in the center of the area. I got that wired. I got this strapped in here. You got to look over that. That's my dog back there tearing stuff down. I got it zip tied there so that it can slide back and forth a little bit, but it can't slide side to side and can't twist around on me. I took the other zip tie and put it on this side to kind of hold this wire out of the way, so if you put stuff in and out, nothing gets in your way. Now, next step, take your wire, your light with your cord and all that. At the top of this refrigerator, there was a piece that went through here that had the accessibility light for when the refrigerator was actually a refrigerator. I put a cable clamp in the top, just like get off the side of an old house or something, hold your cable TV or your internet cable to the side of it, antenna, what have you. Put that up there, and I took this warming light that goes in like a chicken warmer or whatever, and I put a zip tie around that spring to hold it up, like so. All right, I also take that drop cord and I feed it in over that clamp for a little extra stability. All right, now see how that hangs down? It's a little more further to the back than it is the front. I figure it was probably better that way. That way I could put more stuff. It wouldn't be as close to the door, be as apt to get hit. All right, I also have a couple of those cable clamps up there to hang that wire there in. So when I do get the other thermostat, this wire will go straight out of this hole and go outside to where that thermostat is. So now all we got to do is plug this wire into that outlet. Okay, so you have this side plugged in. Then you're going to plug your power cord in, just running out through your top. I don't know if something went wrong. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, so make sure that when you put your light in, it's got a little off and on push pin at the top. Make sure it's on the on position. This one was on the off position. And to show you this thermostat, to check see if it works, I'm going to take this light back down from the top for a minute. It's not hard to take off. Just kind of undo it from your clamps. Don't let your bulb bump nothing. I'm going to hold this bulb on the bottom of this thermostat. And when that thermostat heats up, it should cut it off. I'm not sure how long it'll take for this thing to heat up and cut off. Like I say, it's got to get up to about 112 degrees. So we'll see. Okay, so it cut it off. I'm gonna let it cool back down. It'll come back on next time. It shouldn't take it long to heat it up. This thing has like a 10-degree variance when it goes off and on. There you go. It came back on. So I put it down here. Heat it right back up. I mean, you can do it like you want to. See, it didn't take long to heat it back up. That will work it off and on, and it's already back on again the time I move the light. So when the temperature drops, it comes back on. Okay, so now I'm going to put a thermometer in here, try to see if I can get the temperature regulated. Now, y'all look out for me, and because my wife, she's gonna kill me. So y'all know who done it. I'll show you what I done. I went in the house I stole her little meat thermometer that she cooked the ham and the turkey with on Sundays and Thanksgivings and Christmases. But it's got one of these here little probes in it, see? So what I'm going to do, where I drilled that hole on that side around there, I'm going to stick this probe in that hole. And it's going to register back this thermometer. Now, I got this thermometer set on 107. I'm going to pick that temperature up to about 114. I think that would be a good temperature that it doesn't get too hot. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to stick my little probe in that door. Because you see the light burning in the hole. Stick that little probe in there like that as far as it'll go. See what the temperature is reading. It says 52 degrees. Let me go ahead and pick this temperature up. I'm going to go 113. It's done jumped up 3 degrees since I stuck the probe in there, so I know it's warming. I'm going to do like Bob Benny now. I'm going to take me a little piece of plastic and I'm going to stick it in this hole right here. Kind of stop any heat from coming out around that thermocoupler and keep it from falling out, be kind of snug. Okay, it's rose 10 degrees so far, and the door's only been closed maybe 3 minutes. So I'll come back shortly and we'll see what it's doing. But all in all, this is a cheap build. The refrigerator was going to be a throwaway refrigerator. You can get those for free off-side of curbs, or a lot of those old appliance places. You might have a friend that's going to throw one away. Make sure you cut the cord off of the refrigerator. You don't want nobody plugging that refrigerator in. It might have a short in it somewhere or another that when you touch this door, that it'll shock you. Now, these little this little thermometer here, it's got a magnet on it, so it sticks to whatever you put it on. So all in all, the thermostat I got out the house, out the kitchen, like I say, my wife's going to kill me. I bought the bulb. It was about $8 and some change at Walmart. I had the old cord. The refrigerator was a throwaway. I stole the thermostat off an old hot water heater that was in an old house that wasn't any good. It was going to be thrown away. So pretty much the only thing I got in it is really the light bulb. So I got maybe, let's say I got $25 in the whole rig. You ain't going to buy a warming cabinet for that. And if you do, it's not going to be as spacious as these are. And I mean, So anyway, I'll be back to check on the temperature of it in a little while. We'll see what we got. But right now, it's been less than 5 minutes, and we're up to 73 degrees. And it's probably finna flip again. So, like I say, it's warming up fairly quickly. So I went ahead and loaded this thing up, just so I can go ahead and start getting some of this shit going. Don't know what the temperature is going to get to, but like I say, right now, I got the 1 pound squeeze bottles on top and the pint bottles, and there's where your bucket will sit, and you set another bucket over there. So there's plenty of room. And I was also thinking, if something was to happen where I didn't keep bees anymore, or somebody that didn't have bees and they were trying to figure out some other, you could also use this for an egg incubator. You just have to put some kind of a water source in there to keep the humidity up and get you a little gauge to kind of read the humidity and figure out where to put it under that light bulb. But that'd be a whole different video. So anyway, I'm going to close the door, let her heat up like she's supposed to, and we'll see what it's doing. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes. The temperature's up to 115. That's still okay, but I don't want it that high. I like to keep it around maybe 105 to 110. So I'm going to adjust this thing just a little bit. Now when I open this door, the light should be off. Yeah, it's off. And it's good. Oh, yeah, time the door opened, the light come on. So I'm going to turn this down just a hair, just to see how that is. All right, so after I turn it down, I've waited about 30 minutes, and I come back, and it's at 106. So that's about where, well, that's a little lower than I really want it, but it may be cooling down a little bit. The dog's turning something else over. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that, and we're gonna see how that works.